Morning, Luke Smith, realvacantland.com. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. Just starting up a live stream this Monday morning. This is September 17th, and I've given away a bunch of properties in the past. Let's see if I could pull up the list here. Still doing the paperwork on some of them, so they're not totally all delivered, but they're in the pipeline, either given away or in the pipeline, and we're up to 46, well, one's a title line, 45 properties I've given away on this YouTube channel to date. And they're not huge dollar properties or anything, but they're fun. They're little properties. Most of them are on a road with trees, and some of them have power lines, some of them have streams, some are close to lakes, some of them have a bunch of the aboves. And they're properties that you could sell. They're properties that you could keep. They're properties that you could build on. They're properties you could give away. They're properties that you could open up your imagination and run with, right? So that's I want to keep doing that. I want to give away another property today. See if everything's working on this live feed as I'm getting started. There's a lot of buttons to push, and that's the point. So I want to give away one towards the end of the show. If you stick around, if you listen, you watch, pay attention, I'll ask a basic question to you guys, and whoever answers that question, who hasn't won land before or isn't like related to me or works with me or for me in some regard, I'll give you a piece of land. So I think that gets people's attention and it breaks the seal. It's, the first time, lots of these people, it's the first time they've ever owned a real asset. A real asset being something that's in your name and needs a title that can be borrowed against, that can be leveraged, that can be mortgaged, that can be traded, that can be used as a tool to better yourself. And there's lots of ways to better yourself with an asset. Some people squander them, they don't use them. Lots of land in the US just sits there not being used. Lots of land around the world sits there not being used. Other people wish, dream, hope, pray that they can get a piece of land to do something with. It used to be the Irish leaving Ireland, coming to the U.S. My forefathers, I got an Irish passport out of that. They used to want to grow some potatoes or grow something, and it's not so rocky soil. They would come to the U.S. They have a shot at getting land. They'd move across the world basically to go get land. Now a lot of us just sit on the couch and we don't care anymore. But that's another story. This is some free land I'm giving away. It's not free for me. I'm paying for it with my money and my time, a lot more time, I think, than money, to do all the paperwork and the dance and the research and everything to bring you this land. So hopefully you guys appreciate it. I've had a couple people that won the land that don't even really show up to, I don't know how better to say it, but it feels like I need to give the sales pitch over and over of how great this land is so people will care about it. And it doesn't seem like, to me personally, that I should have to do that, but it's just the way it is. So I want to talk about land. That's my warm-up and me getting started. And today I wanted to talk about land in Arizona, because the website has a lot of land in Arizona. Historically, I've sold lots of properties in Arizona, and recently I've been making a lot of videos about California properties and Arkansas properties and others, and not so many Arizona properties. And the Arizona people are like, Luke, where's the Arizona land? Yeah, it's starting to turn to fall and it's getting colder, so winter's coming up. This is when people buy Arizona land. They move away from the Midwest, they move away from the Northeast, they move away from the Pacific Northwest, they move away from Canada. Maybe they don't move, they just want a winter place, and they go to Arizona because it's cheap, it's easy, it's warm, it's friendly, and it's just it's different. It's not where they grew up. It's totally different and new and wild. And it's like, what is that animal? It's a lizard. What is that spider? What is that thing? And geez, I've never seen a roadrunner. I thought they were just in the cartoons. That cactus is crazy. It doesn't look like a tree. It's different. And so it's not for everybody, but it's fun. And so today I want to talk about some Arizona land. First, I want to go to the co-op. I forget who started calling it a co-op, but in the past, it was really expensive. It still is. It's even more expensive to advertise land on a whole bunch of websites. And so I grouped together with some friends And we bought these subscriptions to these websites to post our land all over the place, and kind of split up the bill, because you could post unlimited amounts of properties on some of them. You used to be able to. You can't do that anymore. And for a certain amount of money, and then we'd kind of get in there as a co-op, we'd call it, because I wasn't really charging the people. It's costing me more to run the ads than they were paying to get their land in there. And I would kind of subsidize it a good deal, and guys would post land on the website, like-minded people that had good land, good prices up for sale, and grouping it together, I think we'd get more attention and more land deals done. And I think that's happened a lot. So we've done a lot more land deals. That's, that side of the business has grown. I think there's, I don't know, 12 or 15 people. I don't know the number exactly. Some people come, some people go, on ruralvacantland.com. And the deal I made with them is that I charge them $200 a month to post the properties, unlimited amounts of properties on the website. I get the ads all over the place, everywhere that we advertise. And if you don't sell any land, let me know. And I'd like a phone call, or like actually talk to you about it, not just a text message or something. Let me know, and I'd like to look at the listings you got and see if we can improve them. Improve the words, the title, the pictures, the price, the story. Maybe we just wipe it all out and start over with a different presentation, and see if that gets the land sold. But what I'll do is I'll refund the money. So $200 a month to post the properties on the website, and if nothing sells, give your $200 back. But if something sells, you keep paying. So I'd put a lot of work and time into that, to getting these properties sold, and communications, and making it happen. So guys keep doing that, and part of that, some of those guys are asking to talk about the properties. And so these properties we've got coming up, and we'll call a couple of the guys here and see if we can get them on the line and talk about properties that they've got up for sale, because they're proud of them, and they think they are good properties that they want to present to the public, and see who's going to end up with these properties. So I think that's a good, heartfelt way to see it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'm seeing a couple comments going by, and Jacqueline's saying, for those people who actually wants land, it sucks when those that win wants to do nothing with it. Yeah, I know, right? That's part of life, though. The U.S., we started out with a lot of people that came from Europe and elsewhere in the world, but especially Europe. And one of the things we set up in the U.S. was that taxes are going to be on the landowner, not on, this was back in the day, not on the people working the land. That was the idea. Now there's taxes on the landowner and the people working the land. But the idea with the taxes being on the landowner is, even if they're nominal small amounts of taxes, people that don't pay those taxes should get the land taken away, and it should be recycled and go to somebody else who wants that land. And so in the U.S., there's tax sales still to this day. The counties take properties away. They take them away from people who aren't paying the taxes. And lots of times they're dead. Like, they're dead, they're gone. Their kids are paid the taxes for 10, 20 years. Maybe they had 5 kids. 5 kids, they all think they own 20% of the property. But 20% isn't enough to really want to pay the taxes. 20% is not enough to go build a house and hope the siblings don't take it away, or go use it or farm it or something. So over time, they lose steam. Maybe one of the kids keeps paying the taxes for the others to hold on to the parents' estate. Eventually, they all give up. Maybe the kids die. Those kinds of stories happen all the time. And instead of the land just sitting there forever, generation after generation after generation, like it can happen in Europe when you don't have to pay property taxes on lots of these things, or there's no mechanism to take it away from that family and give it to somebody who's willing and able to go use it, the land doesn't recycle. It doesn't get back into circulation. So you get cities popping up around dead pieces of property, and everyone's like, whose property is that? It's probably the Catholic Church, or it's like, lots of times they don't even know. There's so many generations ago, last time the thing traded. So the U.S. has the taxes, and that brings a lot more of them back into circulation. So if I give these properties away to people and they don't show up and they don't care and they don't do anything with them, the taxes eventually will come around, take the land from them, and someone else will get the land. Maybe it might even be me buying it back again from the state or whoever and taking another swing at it. I don't know. So that's part of it. Tommy is asking to have any land for sale in North Carolina. I think there's some North Carolina. I want some land in Arizona. Yeah, so today I'm going to focus on Arizona. But first, I'm going to pull up some of the guys that are on the website sharing properties too. Looks like we got green lights going on there again. Had some red lights. Now we got green lights. So hopefully the quality of video and audio is coming through. So one of the guys is Willie. Willie's been on the show numerous times. He keeps coming up with great properties, in my opinion. He just keeps putting them up on the board. I'm going to switch this over to the screen instead of my face. And I'm going to try to pull up the property that he's got here and try to get him on the phone at the same time. So let me see if I can get this to work. Yeah, so Willie's phone number's on the website. He's giving me the same number that you guys get. He's got a property in Valencia County, New Mexico. Let's give him a call. So 1-847-899-4938. You know what I love about this website is you're calling the owner of the land. You're not calling like some realtor that's going to go negotiate on your behalf or something. You're calling the owner and you're talking to the real person who owns the land who can make the decisions.
This is Willie.
Hey Willie, it's Luke. Thanks for answering.
Hey Luke, how's it going?
Good deal. So you're live on YouTube, and thanks for coming back. Thanks for having some more land. And I was just saying it's pretty cool that you can get the phone number to the actual owner of the property on ruralvacantland.com. And it's not a realtor, it's not a middleman person, it's not someone that's going to go talk to somebody and get back to you. I mean, it's like the owner. You can talk to the owner and you can get answers and you can, get decisions to happen. It just happens a lot cleaner, quicker, and faster. Yeah. And I love that. And so thank you for having your phone number on the website and answering the phone.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's this property? This is Valencia County, New Mexico, 11 acres. And what can you tell us?
Yeah, so I could. This one's out in Valencia County. This one's 11 acres. It's right by. So it's in between two homes. So it's got electricity right up to the property. So I guess a little background. I sent out a mailer to the county and had a bunch of people interested in selling. So so I had a flood of people interested in selling, and a lot of most of the properties, the vast majority of them, did not have electricity. So I kind of decided that, well, if I'm getting this kind of response, I might as well cherry pick the kind of the best properties that I can. So I actually only bought 2 of them, just to kind of diversify and not buy too many in the area. So I bought 2 of them. This one I think is the best of all the people who reached out and wanted to sell, just because it's a corner lot. It's 11 acres. It's in between two, like I said, in between 2 houses with electricity, and it's got that electric pole running right up to it.
Yeah, I see that. Looks like the neighbor to the north's got the pole right in front of their house. They got a gated, fenced property. And then the power pole runs right down the east coast of the property, the road right there. And then the neighbor across the street's got a gated, fenced property. You think they keep dogs, or they try to keep cattle out, or they keep horses, or get some serious fence going on?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the neighbors are doing, but looks like they've got some decent structures, decent homes on the property. So, and another neat feature about this property is you can. I talked to people in the area, and this specific property can be subdivided into 2. So if the buyer wanted to buy it and split it up and sell off one of them and just make their money back on the other one, they could keep one and then pretty much get the property for free. So
nice.
So that's an option with this.
Is there paperwork you do to split it, or is it just get it recorded, or do you know?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I can look into it. It's probably the person I talked to sounded like she made it seem that it wasn't very difficult at all to split. So I might look into it a little bit further. If it doesn't sell for a little while, I might in fact just do that myself. I'm gonna give the market a chance to first buy it and see if they want it, and they can do that themselves. But if not, then I'm certainly gonna consider doing that myself. So
okay.
Yeah, I guess a little bit more on this property. It's over 5,000 elevation, $90 in taxes a year, so it's pretty good relative to my California properties.
Yeah.
10 miles from Belen. It's under an hour drive from Albuquerque. And I priced it, so it's not the cheapest on the market, but ones that there are maybe two that are cheaper. They don't have electricity though, so this is the cheapest one with electricity of its size in that range. So yeah, that's a little bit about this property.
Have you? I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard, I don't know, a year ago or something that they're building a office park over there for one of the big tech companies. I don't know if it was Amazon or Google or someone.
They're building a data center out in Los Lunas.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know too much about the details, but they're building a data center, so that should bring a lot of jobs to the area. At least I'm hoping so. So I think it could make a good longer-term investment if that's kind of the thought process for it. But yeah, that's what I heard. It was a data center for Facebook. So it looks like they're building some big structures. I saw a YouTube video on it. So yeah, like I said, it could make a good longer-term investment.
Huh. There you go. That's one way to do it. They must have cheap electricity or something. Is it?
Yeah,
data
I'm
center?
not really sure. I guess they must have some sort of competitive advantage to bring them to Los Lunas. It's not necessarily anything close to a hub. I guess it's near Albuquerque, but I mean that's really it's not super populated by any means. So they've got a lot of land, less expensive land, and yeah, maybe they have cheap electricity. I'm not really sure the competitive advantage, but seems like a unique opportunity.
So this is Albuquerque, just north of it. It's not very far north of there.
Yeah, correct. Albuquerque's just north of Los Lunas. Belen's just just south of Los Lunas. So, and yeah, this, like I said, this property's about an hour drive. So pretty close, pretty convenient.
Okay.
I'd say.
Looks like there's a bunch of park off to the east too, Bosque Park. I wonder if that's some different parklands and peaks and stuff. So that's neat too.
In the area.
Yeah, not too far away, but like off to the east of the property, there's like a river. That's the Rio Grande, I think, off to the west,
Yep.
and then some mountains off to the east. So you're kind of in between. You're like on the saddle
Yep.
between the mountains and the river.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Have you ever bought property out in this area or around here?
I've sure researched a lot of it. I can't think of any. I'm scratching my head. I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of it. Like we could just look at the map.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I got the map pulled up.
You said you sent out that mailer to New Mexico, so
But I
thought there was a chance.
yeah, I didn't. I don't know. Like I was looking at prices and stuff. So south of there, but not right. Well, there's some different ones on the website, but I don't think they're mine. I mean, maybe 2 years ago or something, but not any recently.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I mean, the U.S. is huge. There's no way I can trade land all over the place.
No, yeah, definitely not. I don't blame you.
So,
but yeah, hopefully it's a good area. I've been buying a bunch around there.
no,
Around
cool.
several of those counties. So I'm closing on a couple more out in Santa Fe County. Or I'm closing on one on Santa Fe County for today. I think 2 in Rio Arriba County tomorrow. And then I got a few more in Santa Fe County coming. So yeah, definitely building up an inventory around that area.
Yeah. One of the guys in the chat called New Crusoe is saying, no matter where you go, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do. So hopefully build buyers list, get some property sold, and yeah, get some business in the area.
Yeah. No, I'm sure. I was looking at one of the houses just north of there, like not the one exactly north of it, but one up the road, and they've got this
Yep.
like big courtyard around the house with a bunch of trees and plants going on. It looks like a tropical oasis kind of place set up inside their walled-in
Yep.
perimeter. Um, lots of cultures do that. That's not very British or American
Yep.
to do that, but it's very. I was backpacking around Russia. A lot of people would do that.
Hmm.
Eastern Europe, um, even Central America kinds of properties. Some European ones, but the whole facade of the property would just be like block, ugly. Go ahead and spray paint it. Who cares? And then as soon as you
Yep.
get inside, it's just this magical wonderland. I guess I saw that in Bali too, or even
Yep.
in Thailand, Southeast Asia places. So I think a lot of other cultures, not so American, but other cultures do that, and I think it makes a lot of sense for an area like this. You can just wall it off and
Yep. Definitely.
make your like a Spanish courtyard, right? Or a piazza, like I guess they would call it in Italy, like just enclosed place where stuff can grow that doesn't usually grow in the area because you're blocking it out of the wind and you're giving it partial shade and you're coddling it, to grow, and you grow all kinds of fruit trees and date palms and whatever in an area like this. It doesn't usually grow. If you planted a whole row of them across the country, they'd probably die, but you plant them in a courtyard and they can flourish. So I think that's neat too. That's probably what I
Yeah.
would do, something like that. But you were gonna ask something or say something?
Yeah, I was just curious. So I got one deal that's in this area. It had a mobile home on it.
Yeah.
It's all boarded up. I knew you used to have used to buy those kind of, or at least I saw some of those on your site where you had like mobile homes in the area. Have you ever bought those sight unseen without looking at like kind of the insides?
Yeah. I'm laughing because I get some good stories out of them.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you do.
I bought houses on sight unseen. But I don't know. That's not very recommended. If the price is right, it's to me, look at how much it costs to hook up water and electricity to lots of these places, get permits and get through the process and stuff. If you start
Yeah.
with a structure that's already there, some burned out old trailer, I mean, it can be a disaster. And it's already got a septic system. Hopefully, a septic system works and it's not like clogged up with I
Yeah.
don't know, thin set from some tile job. The idiot didn't realize you're not supposed to put down the toilet or whatever. Um, it just if that stuff's still there, it's really easy to scrape one of those things. Like I used to scrape houses in Detroit, and
Yeah.
I don't know how the guys would do it. I mean, it's stupid amazing. Like the quotes would come in at $1,500 to get rid of a house, and we're talking about like old burned out dumpy things, and you could just they take the trash to like Canada there because the dumps are cheaper in Canada, and they truck them across the border, and the Canadians pay for it. I mean, because Detroit's got a whole bunch of unions and regulations and stuff. You'd think Canada would be anti-trash with all their movements, but I mean, it's cheaper to just truck the stuff over to Canada. And but the moral of the story, $1,500 to get rid of one of those.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than buying the land sometimes. And people really hate on the ugly properties. I had some houses that were, I mean, the kitchen was all burned out. You can't tell till you get inside because the windows are all boarded up and everything. I had one that was like shoulder deep in water in the basement. I mean, what do you do there? You just go to Harbor Freight, get a sump pump, right?
Yeah.
Try to put it down
Yeah.
down the storm drain when no one's looking. Yeah, so there's all kinds of problems. I bought one I had in Arkansas. Like guy went to shop the property, and as soon as he showed up, the sheriff showed up because it's a bunch of little little old ladies looking out their windows all over the neighborhood, right? And they're just waiting for the owner of that place to come back because it was a meth lab. And
are you serious?
yeah, so the cops are like just waiting too. So the neighborhood watch called the cops right away. The cops show up, like sirens on. And I just sold the place for like, I don't know, $5,000 to the guy, and he was so happy to get his trailer. But you go inside, and the meth lab blew up from the inside, so the roof was all blown, and the roof blew out, and then came back in with the weather, and it was a mess, right?
Yeah.
And I renegotiated the price from like $5,000 to $500 with him. Refunded him the difference. But I paid like maybe $100 for the property. So $500 was like, amazing. Cool. I bought a whole bunch of them, it's like, whatever. The guy's still willing to take the meth lab for $500. Like, do you realize that there's environmental problems with the meth lab? Like, you get some serious problems with the meth lab chemical stuff. It's over my head. Like, I'm not even going to try to clean that up. I don't want to be responsible for it. So he's willing to take off with it. He understands it. He's talking to the police. He talked to the environmental people at the county. I mean, he knew his stuff. He's going to go fix it up, and he was going to live there. And he was so happy. He's like crying happy. And it's a cool thing when you get the numbers right, but you just got to get the numbers right. So buying it sight unseen, like, don't go too crazy. I mean, one of the things you can do is you can go on Craigslist, and most modern cell phones these days have like a FaceTime or a Google Duo. I like Google Duo kind of app where they can run the camera and walk around the property with you. So you pay them to go over there and walk you through the property with their camera on. You can watch it live real time from wherever you're at, and you can say, please go in that room, check that closet, look down there, please go walk down those stairs into the basement. Hopefully they don't fall through the friggin' stairs. But it's like they're testing the place out for you. They're seeing if there's a homeless person squatting in your basement or whatever. That's the other thing about these kinds of buildings. So my brother-in-law in Detroit, he like specializes in this. We buy these Detroit ridiculous houses, and he goes and he knocks on the walls from the outside, and he yells inside, and he says, I'm coming in, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee, I'll be back in 15-20 minutes, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna take a tour of this house. And he yells it and he yells it and he yells it through the windows, through the doors, like wherever people might have been crawling in and out. And he'll leave, give people a space, because you don't want to trap them in there. And then if they're in there and they're sober enough to leave, they'll leave. And you come back and you yell and you knock and everything else. Make yourself really well known, because you don't want to surprise them and you don't want to trap them. And go take a tour, see if it's a burnout, see if like all the pipes have been stripped, which usually they are in Detroit. See if the roof is solid, see if foundation is solid. He checks for that kind of stuff, and then he's really good at figuring out how much it costs to bring it into compliance to rent it out. And I used to pay it. I don't anymore, because he's got a bunch of other investors, but that pay more than me. So that they just do house after house after house after house, and it's just little tricks like that, knocking on the door and leaving, giving them time and space to leave, and then coming back later to check it out. So. Yeah.
No, that's definitely decent advice. I have it at a really good price, and it has water, it has electricity, it probably has a septic, but I don't want to have to deal with the meth lab being in the basement. So
no.
Maybe I'll negotiate, but leaning away from this just because I don't want to have to deal with any of these headaches. I mean, you working in Detroit, I'm sure you had some experiences there. But we'll see. It's definitely never come across a complete mobile home on a property before. So, we'll see what happens in the negotiation space. So we'll see.
Yeah, Detroit's a different animal. Like I'm not actively buying in Detroit. It's prices have gone up. Like I was in 2008. Detroit went down in 2005 and 6 and 7, and then really down in 2008.
Definitely.
Like down. And so you could buy these things. I mean, the bricks the house are made of, or secondhand bricks, are worth more than you're buying a house for, right? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
no brainer numbers. But at the time, nobody would take my money. I mean, the realtors, they try to talk me out of it. The title people, the insurance, the insurance companies won't insure them. Like in 2008, they will now, but they wouldn't. They wouldn't insure them. They're like, you're out of state and you're buying properties in Detroit. Yeah, right. Next. Um, There's no insurance. You're just like freeballing it.
yeah,
No finance, all cash. Everyone talks you out of it along the way. And yeah, but now, I mean, it's people are fighting over them. The prices have gone up five,
yeah,
maybe even tenfold in the last 10 years. And yeah, the yields aren't as nice. They're still pretty nice. You probably still get better than 20% rent yields on those houses. But I mean, I used to buy them at first year's rent would more than pay for the house and the fix up to
wow,
get people in there. 2 years, a little bit later, 2 or 3 years rent would pay for everything and then some. Now it's like, yeah, 5 years if there's no fixing. I mean, you can't do that. 5 years you're going to be doing repairs. So you're talking 6 years, 7 years to break even, and then cash flowing it from there, which is still really awesome yields compared to most rental markets, but it's not the same. Maybe I got spoiled. So
yeah. You guys those sound like pretty ridiculous yields. I can't imagine the headaches you had to go through to get those though.
yeah, but I mean, it's learn a lot too. So I think these vacant properties like this, like the one we're looking at, make a lot more sense. In
Yeah,
lots of different ways. I mean, I could talk about that all day long, but you got two estates on either side. You got one up the road. I mean, beautiful looking properties, and a chunk of land in between. There's somebody that's going to want to build there that makes it happen, and they build exactly what they want. And you're the owner of the property. You're the banker. You're the salesman. You hold all the hats, the keys, and everything. Somebody pay you the right amount of money, and I've done it hundreds of times, over 1,000 times now. I've done that with vacant properties, and in the last 2 to 3 years, and I know it works. Everybody can be happy out of these kinds of deals. Somebody took your money because they needed money or wanted money. They gave up on a property, and you mark
yeah,
it up a little bit, and someone else wants it. It's still the cheapest, cheap in the marketplace, I'm sure. Everybody totally wins. So, yeah.
yeah. No, I agree. And yeah, I'm starting to shy away from the ones that are a little bit further away from towns, and I mean those are kind of the cheaper of the cheap ones. And trying to get close, trying to do more of the ones where there's more better access to cities, better utility access, and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So hopefully the properties you start seeing on my site are and have a little more attributes and a little less the ones out in the middle of
Yeah.
out there, and more useful properties that people could start building on and moving on and raising family and that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
hopefully this is
exactly.
one of those. And I agree. I think there's the right buyer out there for it. So hopefully someone picks it up from watching this video.
Yeah. That might be the right person out there. We'll see. Keep putting the word out. See who's got the charisma, the guts, and the know-how to go make it happen. Go
Yeah,
build.
definitely.
Go build. Okay, so are you going to any of these live shows coming up?
I haven't committed. I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
Sounds like you made the plunge. You're heading over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to both of them. I got comped on the first one. There'd be like a speaker, or a contributor,
Yeah.
not exactly sure. And then I paid for the second one. And we'll see. Go visit a bunch of other land dealers and learn. So that should be fun. Getting ready to go to that here in a couple days, and then
Yeah.
just see what I learn. So I think a lot of what they're teaching is getting closer, just exactly what you're saying, getting closer to town. Add some of these closer to town ones in there as well. So,
Yeah. No, definitely. I'd love to go. It's just I think there's a ton of value just going and refreshing and learning new things about the business. And the only like barrier for me is just going out there, have to like get a hotel and go through that process, and it adds up. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I guess it's not too late. So continue thinking about it over the next week or so.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna hang up. Thank you, Willie. Thanks for coming on, and hope to talk to you next week.
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate it. Happy to talk to that.
Sounds good. Bye. Okay, so that was Willie Goldberg, and he's on the website. He's got this property. Let me just read 87 down and 297 per month for 35 months. So, I've seen a couple comments go by. One guy is asking, how do you send an email on YouTube? Just wondering. So lots of times YouTubers have like, there's a bunch of comment sections. YouTube's trying to get the comments going so you can do public comments. But there's also usually a piece of their YouTube channel about business. And like if you want to collaborate with them, you want to work with them, you want to buy their stuff, all that kind of thing. They usually have their email address in there, or a box you can write an email to them through that. So a lot of the YouTube guys have an email on YouTube that's public to people that they can email to. Some of them put their address on there too, and they'll send stickers and gifts and stuff. But so that's on any YouTube channel. That should be on there unless they want to be really private. Eric Dalton is saying, all my friends know about rural vacant land. Yeah, and so someone's saying add an email to your YouTube about page so people can contact you. Let's see. Just try to get some of these. TK Dawson, can you recommend a company to put a road on my property? Yeah, there's I have a hard time recommending lots of the contractors and companies. Like I've tried to do that a lot in the past, and it seems to come back to bite me like every time. I'm not out there using them. I'm not the one using them and hiring them, and so it's hard for me to vouch for what companies to go use. I think you're going to be better off talking to local ranchers and farmers and people in the area about how to get a road to your property. TK Dawes saying, calling on Friday, put more money down. That sounds good. Like some more higher elevation tree land. So Friday I'm going to be in this live event land conference. I'm going to be in this land conference all throughout this next weekend, but maybe Thursday or Monday or something would work better, or the girls answer the phones with me. They can take money too. The people talking about Arizona, more Arizona land. Yeah, so I think I'm getting through a lot of the comments. I'm sure I missed some in there, but I'm trying to cover them. Let's try Dave at Mile High Lands. He's got a property he'd like to present. It's like 5 acres. Let's pull this up. I'll put it on the screen here. I'll get my head off the screen. I'll put his land up and see if he answers the phone. Okay, so let me try Dave. The dog's next door barking. Sorry about that. I'm getting a weird signal. Let me try him again. See if I can get him.
Hi, you've reached David's cell phone. Leave me a message and I'll call you back.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi Dave, Luke Smith. I was trying to get you live on YouTube here, talk about some land. Maybe we'll get you next time. Talk to you later. Bye. So let's take a look at this property that he's got. So Dave's got this property. It's 5 acres. He's asking $4,997. And got it pulled up on the screen, but Dave's missing because he's behind my head. So here's a picture of Dave. His email is milehighland1@gmail.com. His phone number's on here, 866-707-3478. And this is in Costilla County, Colorado. Here he is. Let's see if this works. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Luke, how's it going?
Hey, good. Thanks for calling back. Thanks for coming on the line. Thanks for telling us about this property. What's your favorite thing about this property?
You know, it's got a nice location. It's right on the edge of the Forbes Park community, but it's just a little bit outside of it, so you're not really paying the Forbes Park pricing. It's got power right on the road. It's real close to a little reservoir just to the east of it. It's close to the sand dunes. So it's got really great views, and you know, if somebody wanted to build a nice little cabin or second home or something out there, it's perfect for that.
Okay. So there's a bunch of mountains here. So I think you're looking north at a big one and east at some big ones. These are San Cristo Mountains. I'm not as familiar
you
with
got the San Cristos and all that stuff. It's, you know, it's in a nice area because it's real close to Fort Garland. It's kind of between Fort Garland and Forbes Park. So you got great views behind you, really kind of all directions.
Okay. So I see Blanca Peak up to the north. I've heard about that one a bunch. I think that one's got like snow-capped mountains lots of the times. And then I was just pulling up some maps. Off to the east, you get Raspberry Mountain, Teddy's Peak, Trishira Peak, Cuatro Peak. It sounds like a West Spanish Peak. And then there's a bunch of green land all over the place. So I'm guessing it's government land. You can go explore, probably hunt. You could probably horseback ride, walk the dog. It looks like there's little streams in here looking at the map too, coming off these mountains. I wonder if it's like fly fishing in there.
There's streams all around. I don't know about the fly fishing around there. That's a good question. I mean, I know that within an hour radius, there's definitely plenty. Especially if you go towards the west. There is the Conejos River. There's actually some really nice fly fishing over on the Conejos River. But you're real close to farms here, so you know, I haven't had it done any testing as far as drilling a well, but I gotta imagine the water table's not too deep here because you're so close to farms. I mean, you're right across the street from farms.
It looks like there's a reservoir just right up the hill.
Across the street, there's a little holding reservoir.
Yeah, and then we're kind of downstream from that, so there's probably like a outflow fan kind of thing going on there you could tap into or drill into. There's a couple houses over here. Let's see. There's that's probably more of a barn. Here's a house. It's got power lines to it. A couple cars parked in the driveway.
Yeah. Well, there's power tapped right to the property. There's a power tap right on the property.
Nice. Is there a street view around here? Oh yeah, look at that. Power pole right there at the southwestern corner. There's a pole. And then there's another one. Yeah, I see that on the property. Okay, there's a couple poles on the property, like on the western boundary. I see what you're saying. The holding pen right across the street from the property. There's a water Yeah, holding tank, I guess you call it, holding pan, water
Mm-hmm.
storage.
Yeah, and then you've got, I think it's called La Pancha Reservoir to the, just a short drive where you've got recreation and stuff, to the east. It's almost due east over the hills.
Okay, over the hills. Yeah, there's a little bit
Yeah,
of hill there, and then there's a little reservoir.
Yeah.
I see that. Couple dirt roads coming up to it from a couple different ways. Couple, looks like maybe 3 streams feeding it. One main one.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. So that's green uphill from that, green down below it. Just need somebody to go out there and make it their own, fall in love with it, go build their dream. You know, do you know what the zoning
it's
is?
a great little parcel. I'm sorry?
Do you know what the zoning's like on this one?
Shoot, did it
Like,
put in the ad?
let's see what I can
don't
find.
remember. Let's
This is
see.
residential.
It says residential in my ad.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if it's like, mobile home friendly or whatever.
Yeah.
Wonderful mound.
You know what? Let me look in my CRM and see if it's in there real quick.
Yeah, you got the APN number. I could call the county and ask them.
Yeah, I might have it. Let me check. Give me 1 second.
San Luis Valley, so Castilla County. Let me zoom out and see where this is. Show you guys a big picture and then come back in while he's looking. So we've got like, where's Denver? Okay, so Denver's up here. Let's make sure this is on the screen. So Denver's up here. This is south of Denver. The 25 comes down through Colorado Springs, Puebla, and heads down towards Santa Fe, New Mexico. And then this would be, you probably turn off at Walsburg or Walsenburg and take the 160 over here to Fort Garland. And then you drop down into the San Luis Valley where this property's at. You kind of snake between some of these mountains, like whatever this mountain's called, Rough Mountain. It looks like a beautiful drive going right by that one. And coming around through this valley down into this bigger valley that this property's in. And it's Castilla County. And yeah, so the neighborhood he was talking about, I think, is over here, kind of northeast of the property. If I think right.
Forbes Park.
Yeah, here's Forbes Park. Forbes Park, Colorado. There's a pin on the map. Forbes Park looks like they put a bunch of roads in, but I don't see many houses there.
Yeah, there's a few sprinkled in, some cabins and whatnot.
Okay.
And there's infrastructure in there. It's a pretty popular spot.
Yeah. Do you want to... I do this with a lot of people.
By the way,
Go ahead.
I don't have the information as to whether the mobile homes are available or are allowable on that or not.
Okay.
I'm betting they are. Most of the properties in Costilla County allow mobiles. I think they just have to be newer than like a certain year. I think it's like 96 or something. It has to be less than 20 years old.
Okay. Yeah, that'd make it easier. And then, build a cabin, build a mobile, confirm it with the county, and run with it. Just get the right person out here who wants to go explore all these mountains. I mean, that'd be fun to look at the mountains in the morning, like every direction, or while you're building your house, you just see all these mountains. I wonder what's down to the south. I bet you there's more of them to the south too. There's more down to the south. The ones off to the west are a little further off, but you're gonna get mountains to the north, east, and south, and further off to the west. It looks like a neat valley. It's just surrounded by mountains. So looking for somebody that likes to be outside, adventure, countryside, mountains, streams, trees. Living in the valley is probably better weather down in the valley than up in the mountains. Kind of like Colorado Springs is. They're always bragging about their weather. And yeah, same. I wonder what the elevation of Colorado Springs versus here is. I think this is a little higher up, or might be about the same.
I don't think there's probably a big difference.
Yeah. So that's always been one of the big sales pitches of Colorado Springs is the weather. Just really nice weather, good prices. Well, the prices have been going up a lot. But some of these other valleys in the area, it looks like the same kind of setup. You're on the backside, you know, all the bigger mountains are out over here, and then you're nestled in between in one of the valleys. You get some good weather. It just sits in there. You get clear skies. This part of the country's got really clear skies most of the time, and so you should be able to see these mountains a lot. And then every now and then you'll get a sprinkling of snow that comes through and caps these mountains in white and keeps them extra eccentric to look at and gives you that good postcard backdrop. So yeah, that would be fun. Be a fun property to go check out. And then you're right next to some farmland, so you grow stuff here. They're getting the water to make it happen. So yeah, little roads drive up to it and power line right there. It's ready and waiting for the right person.
That could be a nice little homestead.
Yeah, could be a good one for a good price. What's the price? What are you asking? I think I might have missed that part.
7,500 was the cash price.
7,500.
200 down with 200 a month for terms.
Okay. 199 down.
199. Yeah.
I'm seeing a different price on the website. The hopefully it's right, or we get it fixed here. It says 4,997 on the website. 199 down, 149 a month for 60 months.
On your site?
Yeah, did I get something wrong? Maybe we should get it fixed.
Let's see here. I was just on it and I just navigated away.
No, that's fine. But Dave's phone number, his email, his contact information's on the site. I'll put a link down below in the description so you guys can pull this up and go for it. Castilla County, Colorado. And I wonder if these pictures are... It's got some pictures of the mountains in the area, or some of the mountains in the area.
Yeah, no, Luke, it's 7,500. Terms price is 199 down, 199 a month, 48 months.
Okay, I'll get it fixed.
Well, I'm looking at your website.
We looking at different properties?
We might. I mean, you're describing it all correctly. I don't know. Maybe it got duplicated or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'll get it fixed.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's not a problem.
Yeah, so you got pictures showing the power poles and the property, views of the mountains in the area and the holding pond across the street. The road. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, you got a picture of the power tap. Nice. I'm missing the video. I'll try to get that on there as well.
It's on there.
What am I looking at?
I don't know. Great cabin lot with power near lake is the title. It's parcel 702-03310.
Okay. I'm seeing the same number. Maybe it's duped.
Maybe it is duped.
It is duped. Okay,
That's weird.
there's 2 of them on the website. I'll get rid of the $4,000 one. There's no checkout button. There's no way to buy it on the $4,000 one. $7,500 one. Yeah, $7,500 one's got the video, drone video of it. And it's missing the map. I'll get the map loaded on there, and then it's got the correct price, and it's got more detail than the previous one I was looking at. So I'll get that fixed.
Okay. You know, I think they might know where the confusion. They could have. One of the DAs might have got confused because we were doing some changes on our website, and
Okay.
I think some stuff got published that wasn't supposed to be published, and we took it down, and I haven't communicated with them. So that
Okay.
might be where it came from. I'll check that too on my side.
Okay, I put my face back up on the screen, and I'm fixing it right now. So
All right. Hey, I got to roll.
do it. Thank you. Thanks for coming
everybody.
on.
You got my number and everything. Call me if you got any questions.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Cool.
Yep.
Thanks.
Bye. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of this one here. Sorry. It's we get it off the website 3 clicks from now. Then we're going to talk about Arizona. So the Arizona stuff is we got land all over the place. Okay, so I got rid of the wrong one. I'll get a link to the right one down there. $7,500 for 5 acres in Castilla County. Not sure why we had the ad up there twice, but that's good to know. So it's like making videos about these properties and describing them and going through them. I find stuff like, oh, the checkout link doesn't work, or something's wrong. I'm always fixing and fixing and fixing. It's a full-time job to fix and modify and get the correct information in all these listings as best I darn well can. I make mistakes. I'm human. Sometimes stuff goes. So next up, let's jump into the map search. I always love this part of the website, and it is the map search. At the top of the website, there's a link that says map search. And you can go there, and the map search brings up, it shows pins, and so it's got green ones. The green ones are the ones that are for sale. Red ones are the ones that are sold. And right now I'm zoomed into New Mexico, and I'm gonna turn that phone off because I'm not answering it right now. The other people answer it, and we're going to zoom in to Arizona, and this is, since I created this website, land sales, so about a year ago now. So this is the land deals over the last year or so. And so if we zoom in, and we can see what part of Arizona that we're interested in. And so if I zoom out, I'll show you, the country. Let's say we're looking at Arizona. Let's zoom into Arizona. I mean, it starts out with these numbers like, oh, 7 properties over here. But as you zoom in more and more, it gets more detailed. 16, 4 on. So we've got a whole lot of them down here. Agua Prieta is the Mexican side. Douglas is the American side. So we've got lots of properties down here between McNeil and this area has generally been one of the cheaper areas to buy properties. My favorite ones are the 4-acre properties because you can get you can get 4 acres, and you can do owner builder in this county. This whole area down here, you can do owner builder, which allows you to skip inspections. If you have 4 acres and RU4 kind of zoning, and you sign their paperwork and hand it in and stuff, you can go build whatever you want to build without any inspections, without anyone looking over your shoulder. Now you can go build like that on other kinds of zoning in the area too, but I'm not sure exactly which zonings those are. You should talk to the county about the property you're looking at and ask them if you can do owner builder on that property or not. And if you can't, it doesn't mean it's a deal killer. It just means that you're gonna have some inspections, like they're gonna come over and make sure that you're building stuff right, and which you should be anyway. So you can get it financed later on if you want to finance it, so you can resell it, so you can you know, it's more of an asset if you build it to code. It's easier to use. If you don't build it to code, it's not as much of an asset. Yeah, you can use it, but then it's hard to leverage, it's hard to use, it's hard to sell, it's hard to do anything with. So it's probably better to build to code anyway, but that's my point of view. So here's Douglas, and you know, in the outskirts of Douglas and around the area, we've got a couple properties over here. I think these are like house lots. If we switch over to satellite, I'm dreaming of getting the lot lines into this map, but I haven't figured that out yet. Might be too much data for the map to load. You know, so there's a couple lots here on a little street you could drive up to and have fun with. They're up for sale. I think it's let's see who's got these ones. Andy Barnhart's got these, $695 for like a quarter acre. So there's a couple quarter acres there, $695. Let's go back to the map search. There's houses up here. This looks like good streets. Well, this street down here looks a little poorer. You have to go to work on your street. But let's see if the lot goes. Yeah, it's on this southern street. So you gotta, you know, rent a tractor and go grade out your street. Well, let's see how much it is. It's probably pretty cheap. You know, $895, and it looks like there's power in the area. These guys got power, I'm guessing, and $895, and go build a house next to some other houses with utilities. Here's property up here. This one's got a nice mountain hill thing to look at. It might be lower lands. You might want to check into it. It's 4 acres. This is one of my properties, asking $2,000. I mean, the flood zone is down here, but kind of looking at the bush, this might be more greener, might get more water. I'm not sure. Just something to think about. Most of the rest of these are sold. If we go up here, there's some up here just south of Wilcox. There's a couple properties up for sale. People bought them and then traded them in for others, so they're back up on the market. So there's a couple down here. This is South Anderson Road. There's a road that comes down here to these properties. Someone told me there's a gate up here, and so I think what people have been doing is they've been coming from the south. There's a trail that comes up from the south over here. You can drive in from one of these roads and come up from the south to get in there instead of going through the gate. I think is, someone said there's a locked gate over here, or you could just talk to the ranchers and get through the gate that way. So there's some over here. There's some housing lots just by Wilcox. I just made a video the other day about these ones. There's 5 lots next to each other here in a golf course community, and he's asking $599 a piece. Andy Barnhart's got those ones. So that's kind of the state of the union for Cochise County. If we go over here, this is Pinell County, just north of Tucson. I've got a couple properties up here. This one, I'm really proud of this one. This one's beautiful looking property. This is lower elevation than the Cochise County stuff. And the prices of land go bananas over here compared to Cochise. So if you're looking for the cheapest cheap stuff, go over to Cochise. But if you're looking for more character and closer to town and supplies and stuff, this one I'm asking $22,000 for 20 acres. And these pictures are pictures of the actual property. There's not a whole lot of saguaro cactus, but there's like 1 or 2 in there. And it's just at the higher elevations where the saguaro starts to work. I made a video about it the other day. I got the interactive map up here, so you can zoom in, you can see where the property lies. And if you do this in 3D, there's a housing site here at the top of the hill. And so it looks like you could drive in and build your house at the top of the hill. And there's a neighbor not too far away that figured it out. It's running with it. It's going for it. Yeah, but a beautiful 20 acres. It's really close to Tucson. Tucson's just the other side of the hill over here. There's another one that's in Pinell County that I think it's closing in title like today maybe, or Friday. Maybe it closed Friday. And this one's got proper saguaro cactuses all over the place. And it's 20 acres, and I haven't priced it yet. I'm gonna settle the paperwork on it, and then I'm gonna put the price up there. So you might see that one coming out later today or this week or something. But there's a road, you can drive right up to it, and it's like right in the proper, coyote and roadrunner style cactus. And there's, a little road to the end of it, bigger road gets out to town, and you get, there's houses in the area, people building their retirement homes, or building proper homes, and just not very far away from Tucson. So just north of Tucson, between Tucson and Phoenix. It's a lot bigger dollar area than the Cochise properties. A lot more custom homes, $1 million homes, fancy homes and estates in the area. And this property, my 20 acres, is going to slide in there and probably get snapped up quick because I'll price it too low. So that's coming right up. If we go north more in Arizona, we've got a bunch of Apache. This is Apache County in the northeastern part. There's a bunch of different Apache properties to choose from. I think there's some bigger acreage and some smaller acreage. You'll just click on a couple of them. And Apache County is always nice because you can pull up in an RV and just go for it. So this one's asking $1,000 down and $250 a month for 30 months. Sold. Oh, it says sold, but the little button was the wrong color. I'm taking note. I'll fix that. So as I look at the website, I find things that are wrong. I'll change the settings so this little thing comes up red instead of green. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully I didn't confuse anyone else. And then here, that's over New Mexico. So here's some more of them. I know there's some 40 acres in here. They're really cheap prices, like off the 191. I think it's called Witchwell Ranches or something. Here's $8,000 or $7,995 for 36 acres. This is a beautiful looking countryside in here. I've had numerous properties in this area. People come in, pick them up, and I never hear from them again. Like, just they take off with them, love them. So happy to get them. So here's some for sale up here. Let's see what these are. 10 acres, and let's see how much 10 acres costs. This is a lot of trees. There's a lot more trees in this area. Aaron English has this one. He's asking $5,500 or $100 down and $100 a month for 82 months. So you can do owner financing. You drive right up to these, park your RV, get out of the winter craziness weather, live in some trees. You probably see deer, rabbits, squirrels, all kinds of birds of prey. There's probably cattle in the area too running around. Just quiet, peaceful countryside, $100 a month. So those are up Apache. Here's another one. Let's see what this is. 4.5 acres lot, St. John's area. Trevor Probant, he's got that one on there. 4.5 acres for sale. See what else we got. So over by the 40, here's some in between. Let's see what this is. 40 acres. This might be getting into Navajo County. This is still Apache County. 40 acres, $6,995 from Andy Barnhart. That's a cheap 40 acres. Let's see what this one is. Miles Petrified Forest. The Petrified Forest area is a big national park. If you've never been there, that's a good one to stop at. Gerald Danglish, he's got this one up for sale on the website. $1,675 for 2.5 acres. I think you can pull up there. Looks like there's a road, or kind of a road, on the west side. So if you can get down that road and pull up, that'd be a good spot to park an RV and have some fun with it. There's a lot of these. You can spend a lot of time in here. So southern Navajo. This is getting into Navajo. So here's St. John's. Here's Concho. Over here somewhere, it's a county line. Then we get into Navajo County. Got a whole bunch of these properties in southern Navajo. These are getting to be the foothills. They're close to Show Low, Snowflake, Pine Top Lakeside's down here. The Home Depot, Walmart is over in this area. and it's not very far from these properties. These properties through the mountains, there's a couple different roads you can get over to Phoenix. These are some of the closest ones to Phoenix that I've got going on, besides the Pinell County bigger dollar ones. But these are a lot cheaper up here, and you could drive to these in a weekend. You could go from Phoenix to here and spend the weekend there, and then go back to work in Phoenix for Monday morning. Or you could escape the weather in the northeast and northwest and come down and just enjoy bright blue skies 98 maybe 97% of the time, like almost always blue skies. And you know, the elevations here are a little bit higher than the northern parts. It's like we get up to the petrified forest stuff, you know, 2,000 foot or something, and these are more like 3,000 or 4,000 foot elevations. So you get a little bit higher desert, you get more green, more bush, more plants, more stuff growing on the properties than you get on these ones. There's more life. They're closer to civilization. They're closer to rivers and streams. The water tables are much shallow, usually so economic. You're talking about water delivery, but here it's a lot more economic to drill a well and go after it. So you can use PVC pipes. You're not into the crazy depths. You're using steel pipes and hardcore bits and stuff. So it's easier to sink wells in this area. So I've got lots of these lots. There's different roads, different spreads, different sizes around the area. Some of them are easier to pull up to than others. And they're ready to go. So there's a whole bunch of them here ready to go move into and have fun with. Then on the other side of Navajo County, there's some more of them. There's a couple properties over here, you know, spread throughout the desert. Chevron Ranch. I don't think any of these are actually in Chevron Ranch. Chevron Ranch has more rules and regulations that I want to deal with, but around it seems to be pretty good. And then in the north, we've got some. I think this goes into, why can't I think of the name of the county? Cibola? No, it's Coconino. It started with a C. Coconino County, $13,000. He's asking for 40 acres. Aaron English has one up here, 40 acres for $13,000. Get some big wide open skies up here too. So that's kind of, I think, well, we didn't get into Mojave, did we? So Arizona keeps going. Let's see if we've got anything for sale left in Mojave. Might be all sold out. Here's a couple Mojaves left. Still might be Coconino though. Yeah, so this is the edge of Coconino before you get into Mojave County. I think Jerry Danglish has these ones. Yeah, Jerry's got these. $12,000 for 12 acres. He's got a couple of them next to each other to choose from. You might be able to get a package deal from him. So you call them up about those. They're pretty close to like Grand Canyon and that kind of thing. As we keep going over and we get closer to, so this is Mojave County. There's the river. Here's Lake Mead, Lake Mojave, Lake Havasu down here where lots of the party action happens. We've got numerous properties that have been sold all up along the area depending on where you want to be. Here's one that's still for sale, Golden Valley. Here's some getting closer to Kingman, in Kingman, outside of Kingman, north going up to Dolan Springs and Meadview. I think all the Meadview ones are sold right now. So a bunch of them in Mojave County to choose from too, from north to south of the county depending on where you want to be. I think that's kind of the story of Arizona, going counterclockwise around around the map. As we get down here in the south, this corner over here, people keep asking me for properties in like Yuma County and down there, and I ask if they've ever been there. They usually say no, but they think it's closer to San Diego or it's closer to California, and that's where they want to be. Yeah, go visit first. I mean, it gets a lot hotter in here. What happens is the humidity comes up off the Sea of Cortez, and yeah, you could drive down Baja and go swim in the water and stuff, or you could come down here to Puerto Penasco or down this side. There's Puerto Penasco. You can come down to Puerto Penasco and hit the sea from that side too, and enjoy it. I mean, there's lots of good fishing, but it creates a humidity that comes up and sits in here, like in Yuma and in this desert area, that is it's not like normal Arizona. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's hot and sticky and gross. It gets 120 degrees and it's just like humid 120 degrees. Without the plants and tropicalness that you get usually associated with that kind of weather. So yeah, properties I've had in this area have been really hard slug to sell, and I don't buy them in this area anymore. You gotta get the price so low, it just doesn't make any sense. So that's why most of the rest of Arizona is covered, and I just stay out of this area. There's a big gap up here because it's all Indian reservation. And then there's gap in here because I can't afford the properties. They're just too expensive. But lots of properties on either side. So that's kind of state of the union of what's going on in the Arizona land markets right now. And I'll try to cover some of the chat and then ask a question, give some land away, and go do stuff like I want to get a haircut today. So people going back and forth. So what about all the Arizona property that has no price, Luke? The Arizona property that has no price. So the one that I was showing with the cactus, I think it's going to be like, I mean, I'm going to go look at the market and try to price it at half the market, but I haven't studied the market close enough. But I'm guessing it's going to be like a $50,000 kind of property, 40, 50. Thousand, something like that. I mean, don't quote me on the price just yet. I'm gonna go study the price. I think the market's way higher than that, and I'm gonna slide in under the market enough that it gets people's attention and gets it bought and sold, that I can sell it. There shouldn't be any other ones on there with no price. That should be the only one with no price. Yeah, so make sure to filter the site for sale. So yeah, exactly. There's a filter. When you go look at these properties, when you're searching them, we'll go to my website. I'll just take you through that. So let's say listings, just go to for sale. These are all the ones that are for sale. So you can see the ones that are for sale. And let's say location. Okay, I want the ones that are in Arizona that are for sale. And you can filter the properties. Hopefully that wasn't just behind my head, was it? Yeah, it was. Dope. Okay, let me try that again. So there's the advanced search over here, and so I'm switching it. Location Arizona, contract for sale. I want the ones that are for sale, and I'm filtering the properties, and I'm getting all the ones that are for sale. And then let's say I want to sort by price, and I want the ones that are well, I don't think I did that. I think I went backwards. Let's say I want the ones that are the cheapest first. So price descending. Let's see if that works. Well, try ascending. I should know the definition of ascending and descending, right? Okay, so the one that comes up here, this one doesn't come up with a price because I'll fix that. But it says $11,900 or terms. So the formatting of that one's just off. I'll get that fixed. This is property, the road, and the size, a whole bunch of different $100 a month, different lengths of months to choose from. $139 a month. So owner financing, people are always asking for owner financing. There's a bunch of them on the website that already have owner financing set up. You just click it and you can check out with it. $149 a month, $199 a month, $250 down, $100 a month, $250 down. And then look at this. So here we start out with the cheapest ones on the website right now are $395. Cochise County, quarter acre. $395. I mean, I should be making videos about that. It'll be sold like within an hour. But it's on the website. You guys can go find these. It's $395 for quarter acre near the golf course in Cochise County. So it's going to be really easy to go build on that. $599. There's a bunch of these $599 ones at quarter acre in Cochise County. I should be making videos about those too. And then $695. The whole page is $695, $895, $999. It's a bunch of $999s. $1,400. No building inspections in Cochise County. $1,499. 4 acres. 1675, or I'm on page 3 and it goes to page 9. You can keep going through there and see all kinds of land that's for sale in Arizona, just by doing the Arizona. I theist is saying, I hate it that you don't answer your phone. That some lady I can hardly understand answers it. Yeah, I answer my phone a lot. I answer my phone a lot. I can't keep up with all the phone calls. That's why I'm making videos. I'm trying to describe this stuff, because when I make a video and describe the property, hundreds of people watch the video. Instead of me being on the phone for 100 times saying the same thing about the same property over and over and over again, it's, I think, a lot more efficient for me to make videos like this and describe properties. And you can buy them on the website. I answer questions all day long. It hurts me to hear that, because I try so hard to answer questions. I answer calls. I call people back. I answer. I try, but I can't answer them all, and I can't afford to hire like salespeople that like used car salesmen or something to tell you about these properties. It costs too much money, and I don't charge enough for these properties to pay those kinds of people to describe all these properties and answer all the questions on all these properties. So it's really a do-it-yourself setup. That's what I've tried to do, because that's what I like. If I'm going to go look at a property or look at something that I want to buy, I want to be able to just drive over there and look at it. I don't want to have to make an appointment and ask somebody's permission to, show me some vacant piece of land in the middle of nowhere. Can I go walk on that property? Can I go take a look at it? Will you be there to hold my hand, make sure the boogeyman doesn't come out? No, I'm not going to be, because I would never want to ask someone else of that either. I don't want to take their time to go meet me there when I might not even buy the thing. I think it's rude. So if you guys can go look at these properties and check them out, there's a ton of information online. I try to do the best maps and information I can. I think it's better than most anybody else on the internet that describes these things. And I'm trying to make them better all the time, trying to describe these as best as I can and make it easier for you guys and still keep it cheap. I've got this whole logo, easy, cheap land thing. I don't know how else to keep it cheap. To keep it cheap, you got to do it yourself. If I started giving tours and walking everybody through every little detail, I wouldn't be able to do enough transactions to make it economic. I'd be shutting down shop or just working on $1 million properties or something that I can mark up a whole bunch. And that's not my passion. Those aren't fun. These smaller dollar ones are a lot more fun. You change people's lives so much more. There's so much more emotions involved. People get these things and they love them. So I don't know what to say that I can't answer every single phone call, but I try my heart out. Yeah, so someone's saying sold and for sale, and I've had a lot of people ask about why are all the sold properties on the website, and it's annoying and it's confusing and they're in the way and everything. Well, I used to take them down and get rid of them in an old version of my website, and people that bought the land would call back a week later, a month later, or months and months later and say, "Where's my land?" I'd be like, "Okay, let me look it up again." How do I describe it over the phone? How to send you emails and text messages and letters and everything else? And then they say the same thing. "Where's my land? Where's my land? Where's my land?" So I started leaving the ads up, and people would want me to print the ads out and send it to them before I delete them. And they want me to save everything. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why don't we just keep it on the website so you can always reference back to it? You can pull it up on your phone and you can click on the GPS a year from now, 2 years from now, hopefully, and click on the GPS and get driving directions to your property. Hopefully you save it and you don't just rely on my database for that, but it's there. And I think that's a good service to people that bought the land. And other people that are shopping the land can look at it and see, okay, a bunch of it sold for these prices. And I try to keep the prices pretty accurate. Maybe somebody haggled out some lower deal, or they bought a portfolio of properties or something, and they're not all exact, but they're generally about the price that sold the land at. And so you can look at that data and that information. I think that's very helpful especially guys like me who are trying to figure out what price to pay to buy more land. I use that database all the time, so why not keep it public? I mean, you just got to sort the database so it's the stuff that's for sale or the stuff that's sold, depending on what your data choices are, what you're looking for. And some people want me to take the ads down, like usually people that are reselling the properties. So people that buy them, they want to go sell them for some higher price. They want me to take the ad down, get rid of the ad, and I do that too. So they're not all on there. So some of them disappear, and those guys buy lots of volume, right? So lots of times the volumes of them disappear because of that. So it's usually more like retail buyer stuff that stayed on there. Perry Davis is saying, I am looking property in Crescent Valley, Nevada. I want that area because of no building codes. Yeah, that's easy area. That's I don't think I have any right this minute, but I think I got one in the pipeline that'll probably be up for sale in a month or so, like a 40-acre one there. New Caruso Spiritual Healers putting his phone number on there. Maybe I'm missing something. He's saying I'm like the Superman of real estate. I don't know if he was asking me to call him or what, but his phone number's on there if anyone else wants to call him. And back to basics, saying give this video a. Eric Dalton is saying water table near show low. I missed a bit, shallow or deep. Yeah, so water tables near show low are generally shallower than the land up by Winslow in Joseph City and to the north. That's what I was trying to say there. And yeah, or Adam Mixel is saying, it's okay, Luke, you're doing a good job. I think he's replying to so you don't have to try to get me on the phone. You can look at them in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. Lots of times. You'd be surprised how many checkouts happen at like 1 and 2 a.m. And I was always thinking people go to the bar or something and then they get the nerve up to actually buy the property. I don't know. But I think they're up at night researching it. And that's when they buy them. They buy them before they go to bed. They probably research their brains out. And then they finally hit the buy button. And then they're okay to go to bed. And I'm not going to answer the phone at 2 a.m. I'm sorry. I can't. Yeah, Jacqueline Allen saying, you're doing a great job. Those who has operated a business or worked understand. We know that you're only one person. Please keep up the good job. Yeah, thanks, Jackie. I'll keep going to your website. Thanks, Perry. Just one comment. The rest of us get it. You're doing great. Cool. Thank you, Virginia. Tony Cross. Doing a great job. So a lot of guys saying great job. Thank you, guys. I'm still sorry I can't answer all the phone calls, but I'll keep trying. Virginia saying, I enjoy seeing what you sold. Yeah, a lot of people contact me about what's sold. A lot of times I get calls from government officials, forestry service or appraisers or, appraisers for the military lands or the state lands or all kinds of, especially government people who don't have a budget or a economics to stick to. They just go government crazy and collect all the data because they don't want anything to go wrong. They want to collect the transaction price of everything in the area. They go to my website because they're trying to track down some property, and they search the APN and stuff, and they start seeing sales. They start saying this is the best set of data for transactions in the area that we're trying to figure out. And they use the data off my website to price the deals for them buying land, trading land. Lots of times it's trading, like BLM trading land with one rancher, moving land from here to there, kinds of trades. They use that data on my website and they run with it. They call me and they confirm and stuff, but then they run with it. Luke, it's your business and you are trying to help people that may not otherwise be able to obtain land. You run things the way that makes it easier for you. Yeah, Tammy's saying that. Thanks, Tammy. TK Dawes saying, can't wait to get more land near my eco village. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for listening, for watching. I wanted to ask a basic question, and I'm thinking of a question, but it might be too specific. you'd have to be listening to like the first minute or two of the video to get this. I'll try it. I'll try this question and we'll see if anybody can guess it. But at the beginning of this video, I was saying how many properties I've given away so far. Since I started this YouTube channel, I started giving away properties. And I'll give some hints. We're in the 40s. We've given away 40 something properties, but that number last week, I think I said last week how many properties. I said at the beginning of this video how many properties we've given away, even counting the one last week. And I'll flip it over to my face here because I got different screens pulled up. You can't see the screen in my spreadsheet of everybody that's won land, but I've given away a bunch of properties, and I'm not totally caught up on it with the paperwork. I'll keep working on it. But I do negotiations to get these properties, and people, people are guessing. I think they might be right. So I eventually get the properties and run with them. So I do the paperwork, deeds, get these things out. I try to make videos. I should make a bunch more videos and get them pulled up. Let's pull up the comments and see what we get. So I said it's in the 40s. You could probably just guess, right? Let's pull this up. Let's pull up, let's bring it back to the screen. So done, I've given away 45 properties so far. So let's go through here and see who got 45. 46 will be this video. And so I've got the screen pulled up here, the pop-out chat, and I've been accused many times for trying to give stuff away to someone that was first and them not being first, because I think when you type something in, it shows up on your screen fast, and that takes a little longer to show up on my screen. So we're going to look at this, and I'm going to go from what's on my screen, and I'm going to show you what's on my screen. TK Dawes saying, can't wait to get more land near my eco village. We were just talking about that, and then I went into the question. And then CM says 48. Renee McNeil says 45. So right there, Renee McNeil said 45. She must have been listening from like the first minute of this video and paid attention. She was on the ball. So Renee McNeil, thank you for coming up with the correct answer. I'm darn sure you haven't won land before, but let me just kind of go through the list here and just kind of lightly disqualify if you have. I don't see you in there. So Renee McNeil, I'm going to put you in my list for the next property. So you're number 46. And what I need you to do is I need you to email my assistant, Gillian. So Gillian is, she helps me out with all kinds of things, right? And she answers questions. A lot of people get questions answered, prices negotiated, terms negotiated, deals, zoning, taxes, all kinds of stuff through that office. And some people can't get anywhere on the phone with them. I don't know. But Gillian, Gilian. I'm going to type this in. This is her email address. Rural vacant land. I misspelled it. ruralvacantland.com. So Gillian at ruralvacantland.com. You can cut and paste that. You can copy it. And so Gillian at ruralvacantland.com. Send her an email. Say, hi, I'm Renee McNeil, and I want a piece of property on Luke's YouTube channel today, September 17th. And I answered the question about how many people want a property. 45 people want a property so far. I'm number 46. 46 people, 46 properties given away. And I would like the title of my land to be title. It's like your name. It could just be your name, just your personal name. Then you could sign off on it, sell it to somebody, mortgage it, whatever. The problem with putting it in just your personal name is that if you die and you want this property to go to your kid or your brother or your cousin or whoever, it's got to go through probate because you had it in your personal name. You didn't have it in a trust, you didn't have it in a company, you didn't have anybody else on there like your brother, sister, your kid, your spouse, whoever, that it automatically would pass to. It's got to go through probate. Now, you didn't pay anything for this property, So you probably got a, some relative that wants a thing. Now it's got to go pay to probate and do the paperwork in the county that you get this land in, above and beyond the county that you're dying in, to go do whatever other assets you got. And it's a mess. No one wants to do that paperwork. It's awful. It's hair pulling. It's not worth it for these smaller dollar properties. You're better off just buying another property. So I'd advise, I'm not giving legal advice, but as a land dealer who sees titles a lot and is not responsible for legal advice, I would assume you'd want to do something like put your spouse's name on there, joint tenant with rights of survivorship. And that would basically mean whoever lives longer keeps it. Or you could put your kid on there. They could be 5 days old. You could still put your kid on there. Whoever lives longer keeps it. Put both names, joint tenant with rights of survivorship. And by doing that, if one of you passes on before the other, then you could add somebody else on there. Or you could educate them to add somebody else on there. Or better yet, you could set up a trust. And you could put whoever you want in the trust. It could be your church, your friends, your family, the homeless guy on down the street. Maybe it's time he gets a place. Whatever. You can change it. You can change it by the hour. You can change it by the day. It's a piece of paper that you keep at home in your own records. Sign it, stick it in your desk, keep it on file, whatever. You don't have to go register it with anybody. You can. I mean, some of them are registered, but you don't have to usually. And those directions will get carried out without going through probate, without all the paperwork and the fees. So that's a good thing to know about title. First time people ever get into a property like this, they usually just put it in their own name. But it'd be nice if you skipped that step and went to the next level. You don't have to, but it'd be cool if you did. There's how-to videos on my website about setting up a trust. There's a whole bunch of them all over the internet, and lots of ways to do it. I think that's the best way, but company, I use lots of companies. It's another great way of doing it. Get more tax implications there. So then also I need your address, like mailing address, so I can send the deed there. I'll instruct the county to send the deeds directly to you. So we need an address where you can receive a deed, and like an actual mailing address, not your email. Email would be nice too, in case I want to contact you. Phone number would be nice, in case I want to contact you, say something went wrong, we're doing it over, ignore that one, or trying the next one. Okay, you got it, it's good. Do whatever you want with it. Send that information over in an email to Gilian, Gilian, at ruralvacantland.com. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's listening, watching. Thank you for Renee for winning the property. And yeah, do it again next week. In the meantime, I think I'm going to go try to make some videos about some of these Arizona properties and fix a couple things I saw and going through this, polish it up. Renee says, thanks, Luke. Blessings back. Good deal. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Have fun.